Hi, I'm John from Cryptoflow.vip. So I'm going to show you how exchanges work on the website. So if we go to the exchanges link, which is here, we can see here top 20 exchanges per hour. Now what does that represent? Well, let's first of all choose one exchange, so such as Binance. So Binance here is the second one. And down the bottom we can see we've got 0 all the way through to 7. Now all of these are representing hours. So we start off with UTC 0 and we're currently at the 7th hour since UTC 0. So the first two parts is quite interesting. So this is the actual volume that Binance has reported for all crypto volume. So that could be Bitcoin, that could be Ethereum, that could be just all of them all together. So the actual volume here is minus, that's about say minus 10 million. So at UTC 0, the volume was an outflow of about minus 10 million. And then the next hour, about 3 million came into Binance. And then the next hour, Binance had about a 23 million loss. And then it also had a 10 million loss. Now, this is quite interesting here, right? Because what does, see here, we can see here Binance has a minus 25.64 million outflow. So outflow is the money that's come out of Binance. And if we have a look here, the top 20 exchanges sum per flow, it's a little bit different from this top one. So the top one was only just representing what the exchange was reporting, but we've actually calculated, so we've summed these volumes together. So if we have a look here, we see that minus 25 at the end because that is what the actual volume had. So for the current 7th hour. So if we had a look here, we had like a minus, say, minus 6 million loss, and then we dropped down to 30 million, right? And then we dropped even further to 40 million. But then we had a big peak from the 54 million drop all the way down to the 25 million. So that we got to 25 million because of this peak here, and it boosted it up because of all the 7th hours. So the combination of the 7 hours. So that is just Binance. But if we select, say all, we can see all of these different exchanges, what they're reporting, and down below is the representation of the 7 hours of what that looks like. So on the top of the part we have, the top of the pick we have CoinEx, which is about 220 million. So we can see CoinEx started off at about, say, 66 million from the previous hours, and then it boosted it up to about 216 million. So that's why over here we see CoinEx as one of the top inflows. And why do we see here HIT, BTC or LBank? This basically means that this is money that is coming out of the exchanges. And this is the data that the exchanges themselves have been reporting for volumes. So all crypto volumes. And yeah, that's basically it. Now we go down here, this is my favorite part here, this is the sum of all exchanges each hour. So like the first graph, this is how much each hour, which is all added together, how much is, what is happening, how much we had in, how much we had out. So we started off with about 230 in, then we dropped down to about, we had a loss of about 84 million, and the last hour we had an increase of about 200 million. Now, what does that represent when we have a look at, if we add all these exchanges together, what do we get? So what we actually get is 32 million. So if we added all those different exchanges, whether they're going up or down, and do a calculation, we end up with 32 million. And that is basically it. And down here is just some of the data that we've calculated. So that is pretty much the exchanges part. Now, I know some of you may be thinking that the exchanges is not accurate, but this is just what the exchanges have basically given out through their APIs as their volumes per hour. And we're just presenting that data. And you can also hear, so this was only today's volume, so we can go from yesterday and we can have a look, you know, how much the data has changed from yesterday. So it does take a little bit longer because of all the calculations that are going through on the website, and we are looking to improve that. But okay, it's just loading now. And here we have, quite interesting, here we see Coinbean had a really big drop. And this one here is quite interesting. Huobi also had a interesting increase. And so this is just the data that has been represented from yesterday. So we had up, say, the 24 hours plus the current, you know, 8 hours that we have in the current date. And you can also do the same thing, and we can select Binance, and we can see Binance here. So we only had a look before previously from this part here, and we can also see that jump. Notice before we had that in the 7th hour we had that jump. Well, it dropped back down. So currently Binance had another drop of about 9 million, negative outflow of 9 million. And we can also see that here through Binance. So Binance actually, since the past, from yesterday, it's actually been losing some money out of coming the exchange. So obviously that's not a good sign. If the exchange is a top exchange like Binance and a lot of money is coming out of the crypto, then maybe you could say, you know, maybe this is something to watch out for, and that it could affect the price. Or maybe they're taking it out of Binance and they're putting it into another exchange and then doing arbitrage or something like that. So there's a lot of factors to consider, but we're just presenting that data to you. And that's it. Thank you. And be sure also to click the follow button here. On Twitter, regularly updating you know, information on Twitter and also the Facebook.